questions for head coach Derek Fisher. We'll start with Tukni Nguyen with the LA Times.
Hi, Coach. Two questions, one of which is more simple. You said your goal was to get out of the season opener healthy. So first of all, did that happen? And then second, during the offseason, when you were looking at the personnel you wanted to add to this team, things that could help you guys take it to the next level, what made Brittney Sykes appealing from a skill set standpoint for you to kind of pursue her during the offseason and add her to your roster?
Yeah, I mean, first question, yes. Everyone is feeling pretty good, and I think normal kind of bumps and bruises from playing in the game, but everyone was available for practice today, and I think in a good spot. So, we're excited about that, and we know that managing the workload and trying to mitigate injury as much as possible is it's going to be a priority for us this season, as it is every season. And then Brittney Sykes, and Marie, honestly, in terms of the deal, we had a really crowded front court last year, and we couldn't find minutes for everybody in the front court. So, I think trying to provide an opportunity, one, to create space up front with and a different skill set where, we felt like Kalani would have a chance, maybe in Atlanta to have an opportunity to play as she I think has a future in this league. And then for us, still wanting to have some size up front with Marie coming in, her ability to stretch the floor and have a different skill set than Kalani, two-time Pac-12 Defensive Player of the Year. So we like that about her background. And then for Sykes specifically, as we saw on Saturday, just her speed, athleticism, the way she competes, her energy level, and another player that really does enjoy getting after people. We thought that TRP did a phenomenal job for us last season, accepting the challenge of guarding the other team's best perimeter player most nights. But we wanted somebody else that was also willing to take that challenge. And we feel like Brittney does that. And she's coming to the season healthy, and her offensive game is also expanding, and we're happy to have her.
Howard Megdal, Next Hoops.
Coach, thanks for taking the time to chat with us.
Thanks, Howard. Appreciate it, man.
So you've been part of no shortage of championship teams through the years. And a lot of people in my business talk about statement games and being able to lay down a marker. I wonder how much you subscribe to that idea and how much it felt like your opener was such a game for you guys.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a fair question to ask. I do remember some experiences to start seasons, and certain points during the season where, I think the wins can count for more. Not necessarily, they don't count as 2 wins, but they count as more than just a win in terms of how you played, the way you played. Sometimes if the game is on national television, it has a different type of impact. And, I remember the year we lost to the Celtics in the finals in 2008. And, we were just not happy the entire offseason. And the first day we started training camp, you could still feel the disdain and the dislike for the way the season ended a year ago. And we opened that 08-09 season with a few statement wins at the beginning, to not really for other people, but to show ourselves what's capable when everybody's bought into the shared vision. And I think in a unusual type of season, you need more of those than you normally would, right? You need some of those feel good, everybody contributed, and feels great about what we're doing. And I think that Saturday was one of those type of wins, but hopefully we can back it up with a good effort tomorrow night.
And then just a quick follow-up on that, to isolate it even further, can a single play do that for a team? I'm thinking specifically of Brittney Sykes and her block going up and blocking Brittney Griner in terms of setting a tone for an overall season?
I think whether it's one play or a series of plays. I mean, Brittney's block, Taya Cooper taking the charge. I think Candace evolving in terms of, setting some picks and rolling towards the basket that create a different type of pressure defensively. Simone's performance. I think there are a number of things that speak to your culture, which I think is what you're referencing, that, it brings a team together in different ways. And the way our bench reacted, the way they were pulling for each other, I think there are plays during the course of games that can do those things. And I don't know how many players have gotten up high enough to block Brittney Griner's shot. So it's definitely a play to be celebrated on the defensive end.
With time for two more, we'll go to Miriam Swanson, LA Daily News.
Hey, Derek, congrats again on Saturday. Yeah, so the ratings were up on TV, and the orange hoodie sales are up. I wondered if that is resonating at all within the bubble, and what you might attribute it to, the increased interest.
Yeah, I mean, I hope it's resonating. I think it is, because it starts with the ladies here in the bubble. They are creating the energy, the momentum, the movement that is behind WNBA basketball. So I think it all starts here and it comes back here. Some of the varying, factors or variables, I think that we're just at a different place in time with what everyone has experienced in the last, 6 or 7 months from my perspective. It all goes back to when we lost Kobe and Gianna and Peyton Chester and Alyssa Altobelli and all the families that, were impacted in the loss in late January. I think the basketball world has been different since then. And then obviously since mid-March, when we started to better connect to the full impacts of what COVID-19 would be like possibly, it's changed the way we view things. And I think that we should have been supporting and putting energy behind the WNBA and women's basketball, women's sports, women's in business, women in the community for much longer than we have. But we're doing it now. And so it's great to see the NBA players, the support that they're providing, to see music artists and entertainers and other influencers, just showing love to these ladies. It's needed, it's appreciated, and that's what we all should be doing.
I'm sorry, I was on mute. Last question for Coach Alex Pruitt, Sports Illustrated.
Hi, Derek. How are you doing?
Good, Alex. How are you?
Good. Thanks for the time. I want to ask you 2 questions about Nneka. First, what do you think of how she played on Saturday? And then second, given your own experience at the head of a PA, what's stood out to you about how she's handled that role amid the CBA negotiations and then the return to play talks?
I think her performance on Saturday, in connection to your second question, makes it more, I think, inspiring and admirable. It's not easy to carry the mantle of being president of the Players Association, really sacrificing what may be best for you individually or personally or even professionally, to do what's right for the entire group to the best of your ability. And it takes a lot of your energy, a lot of your time. I think it makes it really difficult to train and focus on your craft the way you normally would, in particular in a collective bargaining year. And so for Nneka to be able to come in, perform the way she did to start the season, I think it says even more about who she is and what she's made of, her character, integrity. She deserves for everything to go right because of how much she gives to everyone else. I think she's balancing it really well, where I think other players in the league, I think other players in our league feel like Nneka has their back and she's there for them. But also, Nneka is about the Sparks and her teammates and having an opportunity to win a championship and doing right by herself and her family. And that's a hard balance to manage, and she's doing it well.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, thanks.
Cameron Buford.
Hey, Brittney, congratulations on your game on Saturday.
Thank you.
I'd like to ask you about any unexpected pleasures of being in a bubble, whether it be team camaraderie, just team bonding, being no travel. What's your thoughts on that? And then once again, congratulations on the energy that you brought to the squad on the other day.
Well, thank you for that. And I mean, you pretty much answered it. I think for me, the biggest plus of being in this bubble is being able to just go immediately back to my own space, right? I don't have to go back to the hotel and fly out the next, I don't have to pick up those mileage numbers on my body due to flights. So I could just go right back to my house. And, shout out to our medical staff. It's a bonus to be able to just, walk up the steps up to their villa. So that's pretty clutch to not have to go far away to go see treatment.
Brittney New in LA Times.
Brittney, I think your block on Brittney Griner was one of the social media highlights of the weekend, let's say. So what kind of reaction did you get from that, both from your team and also just people on the internet?
Well, if you watch the clip back when I blocked it, everybody on the court froze. So that's how Phoenix was able to get the ball back, because Nneka was in shock. TRP and Moan were looking at the ball, and then they realized that we was still in play. But I mean, it was overwhelming a little bit with my phone, because everywhere you turn, I was getting a notification of the block. But it was cool. Candace came over to me after it happened and was like, dude, you are freakishly athletic. So, it's pretty cool to be on the team with other freakishly athletic human beings. And I know that won't be the last type of block that we have on the season, whether it's from me or my other teammates.
We have Lindsay Kramer from the Syracuse Post-Standard.
Lindsay.
Dialing in by phone.
Hey, Brittney,
Let's see if
thanks for
this
calling on
works.
over.
What's up?
Hey, I was curious, after a couple strong years to start your WNBA career in Atlanta, just how you felt generically about what sort of new opportunities, maybe both professionally and personally, but especially professionally, what sort of doors it might open to you in your playing career as far as the trade to LA, and how you can best exploit that as an up-and-coming player.
Oh, for sure. I mean, it was one of the things that I said in past interviews when I was asked, what do I see when I see this team? And for me, joining this team is the biggest thing I've witnessed is the fact that a few people on this team, have won championships. They have that championship type of mentality. They have that championship experience. So how else better to learn than from a former champion and to try and get another one? So that was one of the biggest things that I look forward to come in here is, competing for a championship and just learning from veterans who've been in this league and who have been across the board when it comes to playing best basketball. So for me, when I looked at it, I was just ready to come in and have fun. I'm happy. I'm having fun. I'm learning at the same time. And it's a joke, but I enjoy when, there's moments when we mess up and we get disciplined or they get on us about staying sharp. I look for that because that's culture. And we have that here at the Sparks.
Two more. Miriam Swanson, LA Daily News.
Hey, Brittney, congrats on everything this weekend.
Thank you.
So you mentioned your phone blowing up, but obviously the WNBA got great ratings this weekend, and like the hoodie is going crazy. How much does a play like that sort of help as far as progressing and maybe getting some eyeballs and impressing people when the world is watching?
It's huge. I had a couple of friends and others, asked, where can they get the hoodies? Where can we get a hoodie? Can I have your hoodie? I said no, but it's big for the game because now, it's reaching eyes that, necessarily didn't want to look. You can't ignore a bright orange hoodie. And, you know, what goes behind that hoodie, the brand behind that hoodie is, you know, what propels it to be sold out so fast. I've seen tweets from other people saying that the hoodies are selling out and they're going good. So it's a big thing for the league, and we're going to keep pushing it. We're going to keep fighting to promote it even more. We're getting there. It's steps, but we're getting there.
Last question for Brittney from Howard Megdal.
Howard.
Hi, Brittney. Good to chat with you as always. So, at the risk of putting too much into a single play, for that block that you had, I just wonder how much you felt like that made a statement both for who you can be for this Sparks team and for the Sparks and who they are going to be this year.
Who the Sparks? I mean, it's kind of weird because I feel like the Sparks already had that. You know, I just added to it. You got Nneka, CP, Chelsea, all of them. You know, they're more than capable of blocking a shot how I blocked it. Now, granted, it's you know, expressed in a bigger manner because I'm 5'9" and she's a whole foot, you know, taller than me. But everybody knew in my first 3 years here that I can block shots like that. I blocked Liz Cambay's shot, I think, 2 years ago. But it's nothing new. You know, we're just adding on to it. We're becoming crisper. We're becoming cleaner. You know, we're going to have more block shots like that. I don't think it's a surprise that it happened, you know. And credit to BG. She's a great player. She's one of my good friends. And we joked about it afterwards. But, yeah, no, people know that, you know, this 5'9" guard is going to try and block your shot, whether you 6'9" or you 2'4". You know, it's just going to happen. And that can happen with anybody on our team at any given time.
Thank you, Brittney.
Thank you. See you, E.
See ya.
Faces that we had, obviously, and the chemistry that we're bringing in with, you know, the veterans and the likes of Chelsea and CP, it's just really piecing itself together slowly but surely. And so I think that you saw the beginnings of what that chemistry can really look like in the first game.
Last question for Nneka, Tukney New and LA Times.
Nneka, I think Chelsea got asked about you a few weeks ago, and now I want to ask you about her. So after your experience getting to play with her over these past few years, seeing her grow in this league, what do you appreciate the most about playing with a point guard like Chelsea Gray?
I appreciate that she loves to win. You know, she wants to win. She wants things to be done in a way that that exudes kind of championship mentality, and I see that maturing in her game. And I'm looking forward to seeing how that manifests this season. You know, I think that in a lot of ways, it was hard to talk about a championship because there's so many other things that are so much bigger than us that is happening in this world. But for us to be able to channel our emotions and our integrity and our passions in a way to walk, talk, and act like champions, I feel as though that's the mindset that Chelsea brings to the team.
Thank you.
Bye.
Tukney New and LA Times.
Yeah, okay. Taya, we just talked to Brittney about her big block. So what was your view of that play, and what was kind of your initial reaction to seeing that?
I was actually behind the bench, and you know, we were all excited because she came out of nowhere. So when she did it, we was just hype, and I think Nneka tried to get the ball back, and then it was real quick, but everybody saw it. We watched it on film, so it's big for her.
Miriam Swanson, LA Daily News.
Hey, Taya, congratulations on a great debut. Wondering, I guess, did you have any, you look so comfortable out there. Did you have any butterflies? And just how much is it helping to go up against Chelsea in practice?
Honestly, I think that me and probably others probably would have had more butterflies if there was like stands or like fans or something. But it felt like practice, and they made me feel real comfortable, and they was talking to us the whole game. We could actually hear each other, so it just made it even more comfortable for me. And then going against Chelsea is a challenge every day. She pushes me, and I try to do the same for her, and that goes for all our guards. So really, it's Chelsea, Bay, Sid, Brittney. Like, I'm guarding great players every day. So.
John W. Davis, Winsider.
Good West Coast morning, Taya. How you doing?
Good morning.
Morning, or good afternoon where you are. So I wanted to get a self-assessment from you. How would you assess your debut? You talked about it feeling good, feeling like practice. And then also from your veterans, you still have 21 games left in this regular season. And, there will be ups and downs. What have they talked to you about when it comes to the idea of staying the course?
I don't just not the type of person to get too high or get too low. So, just maintaining and keep learning. I think there was a lot of things that I got to feel being in my first game, rather than them just talking to me and telling me about it and what to expect. So I actually got to go through it. So just learning and being able to adapt in the game quick, just being able to do that and having their support really was helpful. So.
Time for one more. We'll go to Pavi with H&B Media. Go ahead. I think you're on mute. Okay, Miriam, do you have one more?
Sure, I can ask another one. Hey, so it's kind of you guys all had such great ratings on TV, and obviously the orange hoodie was everywhere. What do you make of that? Are you guys feeling that inside the Wobble?
I mean, yeah, being in here and all the teams are together and us seeing the positive feedback that we're getting and the love that people are supporting us with is amazing. Just to know that we are doing this for a purpose, and there's a lot of things that people are standing up for, and just to get great feedback and see that is amazing.
The last one, Pavi, if you're there, you might be having an audio issue. Okay, sounds like a tech issue. That'll be it for today. Thank you, Taya.
You're welcome.